Hello and welcome to this week's midweek mini lesson. We are in 1 Timothy chapter 5. We're going to be going 1 through 16. So here we go. It says, "Do not sharply rebuke an older man, but rather appeal to him as a father, and to the younger men as brothers, to the older women as mothers, and to the younger women as sisters in all purity. Honor widows who are actually widows, but if any widows has children or grandchildren, they must first learn to show proper respect to their own family and to give back compensation to their parents, for this is acceptable in the sight of God. Now she who is actually a widow and has been left alone has set her hope on God, and she continues in requests and prayers night and day. But she who indulges herself in luxury is dead, even while she lives. Give these instructions as well, so that they may be above reproach. But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. A widow is to be put on the list only if she is not less than 60 years old, having been a wife of one man, having a reputation of good works, and if she has brought up children, if she has shown hospitality to strangers, if she has washed the saints' feet, if she has assisted those in distress, and if she has devoted herself to every good work. But refuse to register younger widows, for when they feel physical desires alienating them from Christ, they want to get married, thereby incurring condemnation because they have ignored their previous pledge. At the same time, they also learn to be idle as they go around from house to house, and not merely idle, but also they become gossips and busybodies, talking about things not proper to mention. Therefore, I want younger widows to get married, have children, manage their households, and give the enemy no opportunity for reproach. For some have already turned away to follow Satan. If any woman who is a believer has dependent widows, she must assist them, and the church must not be burdened, so that it may assist those who are actually widows." So this whole section here obviously is about widows and how they're to be cared for. And the idea here is that if you have a widow in your family, it is your responsibility to care for them. It is your responsibility to care for the widows of your family. They're saying that if you don't do that, then you're worse than an unbeliever. Then it goes on and says, if there's a young widow, I encourage them to get remarried. Because you don't want them to be to claim to be a widow and not I'm not going to marry again and stuff, and then you find that guy that once that you want to marry now, and then it kind of throws everything into confusion. He says, look, if you're a younger widow, I just as much would rather you just marry again. They also mention not just that, but also that if you're a younger widow, you're more prone to, I think it's gossip and being a busybody and stuff like that. But then it says at the end, it says that if you have a widow, if you are a widow, to take care of other widows, basically, and to help out, so that the church can concentrate on supporting and helping the ones that have nobody. Because there's some people that were widows that don't have family anymore that can help, and it goes to the church to actually do that. This whole thing here is actually directed to Timothy, who is, at this point, I guess you could say, leading a congregation, leading a body of Christ. And he's saying, this is how you are to treat widows. If we have family members, they should be the ones taking care of it. If they don't have family members, then the church should be taking care of it. Again, this goes back to Jesus' command to love widows and orphans, and it's the church's responsibility to do that. I hope you enjoyed this week's midweek mini lesson, and I will see you next week as we finish chapter 5.